When I quit my job in the UK to move to the United States, a lot of people ask me the reason why I decided to move from the UK to the United States. So many of my colleagues, they made so many comments that even got me thinking, even made me worried about my decision to move from the UK to the United States. The nurse where we normally take our vaccines, which in the GP surgery, told us that definitely we will see ourselves back in the UK in a very short time. She told us the last day that we are taking our vaccines that I'm sure you will come back to us. That was her statement. And some of my colleagues, they made comments like it's not a safe place to go to. Why move to the US? Why not Canada? Some people said it's not a good place to raise children. Some people said it's not a safe place. And all of those comments that English in America is not the best, that the English in the UK is better than the English in the US, a lot of things. And as a human being, right, even though it has always been one of my dreams and goals to be moved to the United States, it kept me, some of them actually got me worried, like, because people were saying it with all confidence that you shouldn't do this or you shouldn't do that. Okay, so I found myself always Googling US versus the UK, the cost of living in the US versus the cost of living in the UK and all of that. So guys, in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you what I've seen and what I think the US kind of offers to immigrants or professionals who have moved to the United States. Is it a good thing to move to the US? These are going to be based on my own experience, now 10 months experience in the United States. And I believe that some of you who are still sitting on the fence, who are worried, who are scared, who are wondering if it's a good decision to move from the UK to the United States or any country where you are in to the United States, I hope this video will give you like a clue based on my own experience or whether you should go for it or not. Okay, so without further ado, let's dive into it. Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, hello and welcome. My name is Lynda. I'm a registered nurse and I currently live and work in the United States. In this channel, I share information on how you can work, study and thrive abroad. So if you're interested in any of those, be sure to join the family by subscribing. I live in the United Kingdom for a while before moving to the United States. So in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you 10 reasons why moving to the United States is a good idea. The first one is high standard of living. Of course, if you go to the internet and search the standard of living in the United States, it will definitely tell you high. So I believe that people in the United States, they have generally high standard of living when compared to so many countries around the world. And for immigrants living in the United States, I have seen that many people who move to the United States legally, especially on work visa, which most nurses migrate to the United States with, or if you're a professional and you migrate to the United States on work visa, you are going to be getting permanent residency automatically, and that allows you to actually work and not just work with one employer, but if you decide to even take on more jobs, you'll be able to do that freely. And at the end of the day, you earn a good amount of money that will help you to live in a good house, and you'll be able to afford basic things for yourself. Okay, so in my opinion, the standard of living, especially when you move just fresh as an immigrant, as a permanent resident in the United States, your standard of living will definitely be high. In my own case, I know how long it took us to get a good accommodation in the United Kingdom when I wanted to move my family to the United Kingdom. I know how long it took us to get a good accommodation. But here in the United States, within 5 months, we were able to buy our first home, which is really cool, with good space, spacious garden, kids can run around and all of that. So, and that is the case for so many other people. I know friends that moved to the United States, even if they don't buy homes as fast as we did, they were able to buy their own homes in their first year, in their first 2 years. So it's not like it's something that is a struggle. I know in some countries you have to like stay years as an immigrant for you to be able to get a good home, but in the United States, I find it that it's very easy for you to access some of these things. This second one follows to the first one that I've already talked about: wide array of job opportunities. In the United States, if you search for a job, you're going to see a lot of job openings, and you'll be able to find ones that are actually aligned to what you really want. Especially if you're a nurse or if you're a professional, you'll be able to get a job very, very quickly, and the kind of job that you also want. And if you really, really want to earn more in the United States, if you go for training, if you have more experience, your income is likely to increase that way as well, which is really, and again, for your spouses, especially if you move newly to the United States, they will be able to take short courses, and within a short space of time, they will find themselves getting jobs. Third one is opportunity to study. So in the United States, a lot of people say that the cost of education is high and all of that, but in the US, if you're a permanent resident, you're able to access funding to study, and they have a lot of options, higher education options. They have community colleges, state universities, private colleges, and all of that. So you can choose the one that you can afford, and the government will fund it. And after your studies and you start working, you will be able to repay those things. And if you are working in certain areas, you may be able to have like loan forgiveness or something like that. But the thing is that you have access to higher education, which is not the experience as an immigrant living in certain countries. If you go to certain countries with work visa, studying or having access to funds to study might be challenging, especially in the beginning. But from my experience in the United States, a lot of people that moved to the United States with me last year, many of them are in school going for their higher education. Some of them that don't have their BSc yet, they are studying. And in my workplace, I also noticed so many people that are not nurses yet, they are in one school or the other trying to become LVNs or become nurses and all of that. So many people love to study here because they have these options and they have funding opportunities as well. This is even including immigrants. The fourth one is the advancement in healthcare. So one thing that I noticed quickly when I moved to the United States is how advanced they are in their healthcare field, right? So many things that we are using here in the United States, like they have it in abundance when compared to so many countries, right? So you notice that so many of the things that are being rolled out in my previous place of work, so many of them, they already have it here and they have been using it, and they don't usually have just one. It is usually everywhere in the hospital, which I found really, really cool. And again, they are also healthcare professionals. You will notice very obvious immediately you move to the United States how advanced you will see their healthcare professionals, and you have the younger ones as well, so many of them that are going into the profession, and also the equipment they use, how advanced they are, and they keep rolling it. And in my experience, I believe that their healthcare is actually up there. And I have my colleagues that also moved from Ireland and some other parts of Europe, they are also saying the same thing. When you compare to the fact that I'm not in the city and I'm still able to compare where I work to somewhere a city in the UK, then I will actually say that they are really advanced in technology, especially in their health. The fifth one is entertainment option. If you're someone that really loves entertainment, the United States will give you all the options that you need. They have sports, they have theaters, they have festivals and all of that. And because it's a big country as well, you can decide to move from place to place in search of the kind of entertainment that you want. Different sports, even the ones that I've never heard of, that they actually like here in the United States. A lot of people, even I'm surprised that so many of my colleagues, they are always engaged in one sport or the other. They have the kind of sports that they really like, and I believe that like sports is one big thing for them here. Even children at school, they expose them to different kinds of sports and all of that. They have so many varieties, so many options that you can choose from in the United States. So if you're a sports person, if you're an entertainment person, you're in love of a good life, you find it here in the United States. Sixth one is natural beauty and parks. One thing I enjoyed in the UK was the parks and the beautiful landscapes and all of that. In the United States, you also find that because it's such a big country, depending on where you are in, you find different parks, different landscapes and all of that. They are really very beautiful depending on where you are. You know, you have the cold regions, you have the warm place that like where we are now in Texas, and so many places. So it depends on where you are in, but you find parks, you find recreational centers, you find amazing natural landscapes in the United States. So if nature is something that you really enjoy, then you'll find something like that in the United States. They also have farms, grazing farms and all of that you can visit while you are in the United States. I believe that this is really cool. The seventh one is the cultural diversity. One thing that you will notice when you move to the United States, or I have noticed when I moved to the United States, is the cultural diversity. People come from different parts of the world world, from China, from India, from you name it. I've seen people that I've not seen in any other part of the country or any part of Africa that are here in the United States. And the beautiful thing is that many of them have been here for years. Some of them are already citizens here. Some of them were born here and they come from different parts of the world. I really found it very interesting. I've met people from China. I've met people from the Philippines. I've met people from Africa, different parts of Africa, Uganda, Zimbabwe, you name it. And a lot of people from Jamaica, a lot of people from different parts of the Caribbean. It is really, really cool when you see people from different parts of the world and they are already United States citizens. Some of them were born here, some of them from, I really found it very, very interesting. Another thing that is also very, very interesting that I've seen here is the language, because usually I would think that the United States is even though they are mostly English, I've noticed that they also speak Spanish. Some of them speak like other languages and they are recognized that we have like translators for our patients, like if they are not English speakers. And you find communities where they have like Spanish speakers, communities where they have like more of English, but definitely English is more widespread. But I was surprised to see that many communities also speak Spanish and they recognize that. They try to like encourage people to keep their language in schools. They try to teach children that are not English, like provide them with English language, and as well as encouraging them to keep their language as well. The next one is innovative business environment. You will agree with me that in the United States you'll find a lot of people that are millionaires, very young people in their 20s, that are really making millions because they have the freedom, they have the internet, they have the access to funds to fund their businesses. And you see a lot of growing businesses and a lot of thriving businesses in the United States. So all over the internet, you agree with me, you see that many people that are in the United States, it's as if they have this opportunity to start businesses and grow their businesses and fund their businesses and all of that. So I find it to be really interesting. People in the United States, they have like this business minded. They want to innovate things. They want to start their own business. They want to grow their own business and all of that, which is really cool. So if you are the kind of person that is looking for mentorship or looking for people to motivate you to start businesses, you'll find that in the United States. The ninth one is diversity. If you decide to live in a very big city, you will be able to have that. If you want to live in maybe a mini city, a place that is not that big but is not suburb, you will still find communities like that. If you decide to live where like in a farm or in a ranch, you will still find communities like that, which I find really interesting. Where I currently find myself in the United States, we also have people coming from different communities that they don't really have big healthcare. They have to like move to a mini city for them to access a kind of healthcare. And again, you also have people that are living in the cities and all of that. So I feel like they have like a wide range, just like so many countries. So in the United States, not like all cities and it's not all suburbs. You can choose the kind of community that you want to live in. And I found that very, very interesting.
The last but not the least is the safety. A lot of people have asked me if I feel safe in the United States, but the truth is that I'm really, really surprised and inspired by the kind of security system that they have in my hospital and in the neighborhood and all of that. If you suspect anything, or if you fall into trouble, or if you need to call 911, the way they will respond, the way they are courteous, the way they are really professional is mind-blowing. I know that the internet has a way of, and the media has a way of maximizing everything or making the whole thing look so, too much. But the thing is that if you are in the United States and you choose the best neighborhood and you choose maybe a state that you believe or they have already rated as one of the safest places, then you should be good. The media, you have to bear in mind, has a way of making the whole thing look so big. So if safety is something that you really, really are looking for in the United States, I believe that it has a very good safety index, even though you hear all the crime and all of that.
I hope you found this video insightful and interesting. Just let me know what you think in the comment section. Are you going to move to the United States? What are your fears? In another video, I'm going to be sharing with you the main difference that I have actually seen, because living in the United Kingdom and living in the United States, they are really different. So I'm going to make a dedicated video for that, differentiating from my own experience the United Kingdom, living in the United Kingdom and living in the United States. So stay tuned for that video. If you're yet to join the family, join the family. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Please like this video and share with someone. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.